You're listening to the sounds of the WATE, the world according to Eli.
You are now tuned in to the number one podcast in the world, The WATE, the world according to Eli. Music, sports, video games, and culture. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the host of our show, Mr. Eli.
Yo, what's going on? Welcome to The WATE, the world according to Eli. I'm your host, Eli. This is my dad.
Co-host in the building.
Yeah.
Are you ready for another week?
I am ready for another week. We are in season 4, episode 3.
Season 4, episode 3. Let's clap that up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. So I'm going to flip it on you a little bit. How was your week?
Week was pretty good, pretty exciting. Got some major announcements coming soon.
Yes, we do.
On your part, some things you've been working on.
Absolutely.
Some things we're always working on
Good,
to keep things in motion. My Cowboys won last night.
Okay.
Got to give me a little credit. I was a little worried early.
Yeah, so...
They got down early.
Right.
And then the cat ran across the field.
It reminded me of like the last little touch of Halloween.
Right. It was the last little touch, sprinkle of Halloween, of all black cat.
On a funny note, how do you feel about black cats? Because I love them.
Black cats are just black. That means I'm not very superstitious, but during Halloween, it adds a little...
I'm not superstitious either, but I feel like not a lot of people be repping the black cats.
Yeah, the black cats are tough. I owned a black cat once.
You did?
Yes. I owned the black cat once. His name was Featherbed. You know?
Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What was I gonna say? Okay. Yeah. So we have we got the World Series to talk about.
Yes.
And my Patriots, lost Sunday night, and besides that Sunday, I had a great week.
They didn't just lose.
Yeah, they got spanked. But besides that, I had a great week. I had some fun, played some video games. I hung out with a couple friends over the weekend. So
Yes.
it was fun. All right, so let's get into the World Series.
Let's get into the World Series.
You're listening to the sounds of the WATE, the world according to Eli.
All right, so we had the World Series. It was the Nationals versus the Astros, Game 6 and Game 7.
Great World Series.
Great World Series. Strasburg, right?
Strasburg.
Yes. He pitched an amazing Game 6 in Houston.
Yeah, that's a lot of pressure.
That's a lot of pressure because we said after losing 3 straight in Washington, I said, I'll give it to Houston tonight. They're going back home. They're not going to lose 4 straight on the road, right?
Yes.
Right?
Well, that would have been 3 straight on the road because they lost the first 2.
Oh, right. I'm sorry. Right.
But
yeah.
it's still a tough game.
But I was thinking from the big picture, because I'm thinking they're not gonna, even if they lose Game 6, they're not going to lose the Game 7.
Absolutely.
So,
And he was going against Verlander.
Right.
Which is Verlander hasn't, I'm surprised has not won a World Series game.
I was surprised about it too.
3 or 4 World Series.
Because I thought when they won in 2017, I'm sorry. I thought he was dealing in that game and they got the win.
No, but what happens is that's a little misconceiving because he pitched well in all of those games.
Right.
He never got more than 2-run support.
Right.
So
from
it's
his
one
team,
of those
right. From his batters.
Right. One of those weird things where he didn't get enough run support.
Absolutely.
But still, he's at home.
But this postseason performance throughout the postseason, he hasn't pitched that great compared to 2 years ago.
Yes, absolutely.
I saw the Yankees get to him a little bit.
Yes.
In the first game. And then I saw them almost get to him in the other series. And then I definitely saw the Nationals get at him and make him crumble. And Strasburg went 8 innings.
He was
He
dealing.
kept getting he had like 7 assists off of the ground balls and whatnot.
Yes, he just was magnificent. And this was a big moment for Strasburg because remember in a couple of years when they did make the playoffs, one year they sat him the whole playoffs.
Okay.
Because of pitch count. They didn't want to wear his arm out. They wanted his career to be as long. And we criticized that. I remember, I think it was 2012 or 13. We was like, man, you here and you're not going to pitch your ace.
And that was when they kept losing either in the second round or the wild card.
Right. So this year, there's no restrictions on him. Him and
Matt Scherzer?
Yeah, Matt Scherzer were undefeated all playoffs long.
Yes, they was.
So I knew going into 6 and 7, my concern was like yours. If they get through Game 6, I'm like, man, they got Scherzer going in Game 7.
Right. And mind you, he didn't pitch for Game 5. But we were still skeptical of Scherzer because he didn't pitch for Game 5.
Right.
And it was just
because of some kind of stiffness in his back.
And then they almost messed up and brought him in Game 6 when they was up, I think, a good 3 to 4 runs. And
that would
we're
have been a disaster.
Why are you doing that?
And he didn't pitch that well in Game 7.
Right. So moving on to Game 7.
Right.
His whole outfielder bailed him out.
Yes.
The entire game.
Yes.
First of all, I don't like it. I always get criticized. I always criticize the pitchers for if you're in the 3rd inning and you already pitched 50 pitches.
60 pitches, yeah.
60 pitches. You should not be pitching that high in the pitch count.
Absolutely.
But I understood what your logic was, which was it's a Game 7.
So it ain't no
Everything
tomorrow.
goes.
Right. Anything goes. So he had already got up to 100 pitches by the 5th or 6th inning.
Because, going back to Game 6 real quick, Verlander did the same thing. It was 3 innings. He already had 65 to 55 pitches already. And we're like, dude, that's supposed to be your mid-range. I mean, your mid-inning pitches.
Right. When you're pitching efficiently.
Right.
And you on top of your game.
Right.
Absolutely.
So, but anyway, going back to Game 7, it was an amazing game.
Yes.
The Astros once again go up 2 runs. Boom. I'm thinking, okay, maybe the Astros finally got it.
Right.
And then in the 7th inning, I remember Greinke was pitching so good, I decided to leave.
Yes.
I said, Dad, you know what? It's the 7th inning. I'm good. I'm going to go watch Seinfeld with my mom in the room.
Yes.
And we're going to dip. I said, yo, let me know, because it was 3-0. I said, let me know if anything changed, right?
Oh, it was 2-0.
It was 2-0. I'm sorry. It was 2-0. So then as soon as I closed the door, you're like, home run. I was like, okay. I said, all right, Dad, whatever.
You said, calm down. No worries.
Astros still got it, right? Because Greinke's still dealing.
Right.
So then I closed the door, and I texted you. I said, yo, let me know if it's tied. Then he was like, oh, my God, they had a 2-run homer. 3-2 Nationals. I was like, what?
I was in there wilding. And I think that home run, it was a very good pitch. Don't get me wrong. They had made a pitching change.
Was it in the corner, or was it just kind of came out and went in?
It almost went foul. That's how. Okay. So it was one of them pitches that he swung outside. They had made a pitching change. And instead of bringing in Cole.
Because, I remember. Because Greinke had given up the one.
Right.
And then it was like, all right, cool, you did
and
the
they
job.
gave him, and he walked the next guy.
Right.
So they said, you know what? Let's go. But they didn't bring in Cole.
They brought in Presley.
They brought in Harris.
Okay.
Harris, I believe his name was there. Who was their closer all year long.
Right.
He had been doing well, but he gave up a 2-run meatball in Game 6.
But right. And like you said, the way the pitch went, it hit the foul pole.
Yeah, it was a beautiful pitch. It's just that Kendrick, being the smart player that he is, he went with the pitch and he hit a 2-run shot.
Right.
And at that moment, I felt that they had stolen the heart
of Houston.
Of Houston at that point.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now, all right, so we're going back to the Cole situation, because I said, guys, play it like the San Francisco Giants did against the Royals. Game 7, bring in Bumgarner.
Yes.
From 5 to 9. Let him deal. Mm-hmm. It's 4 innings. And if he doesn't, you bring in somebody. Then you bring in a relief pitcher.
Absolutely.
But then you said, what was your strategy?
I think A.J. Hinch, the coach.
Manager, right.
Right. Since Cole had never pitched in relief, he wanted him to start the inning. Right. And that makes sense.
The 6th inning, right?
Right. Bring him in at the beginning of the 7th. But what happened was, Greinke had such a great 6th inning. He only threw like 6 pitches.
Right.
So he said, you know what? Let me roll the dice.
Right. And I see his name.
And that's what happened.
I am about rolling the dice, but if I know for a fact my relief pitchers just gave up home runs the game before, the night before, I can't gamble again and try to do the same thing.
Prior to that home run that Harris had gave up, he was unhittable. So when you look at the totality body of his work.
Right, because I think the other relief pitcher, Presley, kept giving them home runs.
Yes.
Right. Okay, got it.
So he was unhittable, so you don't want to give up on your relief like that. And it just was a bad decision. That's why the managers get paid so much money.
Right, and I'm not gonna say it was a bad. I'm gonna say it's a gutsy.
Right.
It was, yeah.
So that's what happened with that. Still an amazing World Series. The first time a road team won all 4 road games
in any sports
in any major sport. That's worth a clap up.
Yeah,
Now
that was amazing. I've never seen anything like that.
No, that was amazing. Side note: Strasburg is an unrestricted free agent.
He is. He opted out of his 4 year.
And I can see him in pinstripes. But he's got a shade because the Yankees don't allow their pitchers to have beards. If he's willing to give up a beard so he can make an additional $150 million, I think Strasburg would fit well.
I think he is going to opt back into his contract.
No, he can opt in, but for 4 years out of $100 million.
No, I thought he was opting out to get more money.
Yes, he's opted out to get more money, so but I don't think anybody can outbid the Yankees.
True. And
ain't no salary cap in baseball.
Speaking of the Yankees, real quick, do you feel like their sons? Who was the legendary owner? Steinbrenner. Do you feel like his sons have loosened up with the budget?
No, I think they're a little bit more conservative than I know George was. George just tell me who the best players. Go get the best players.
Right, and we try to win the World Series.
And we'll try to win the World Series.
Right.
The Yankees let Didi Gregori go.
Didi go?
Yeah, they're not gonna renew his contract at shortstop.
Sorry, cause now I'm about to rant now. So you let Didi go, but you ended up giving Chapman an extension.
Chapman had the option. He had a player option.
Oh, okay. So he
opted in. It wasn't the other way around.
Got you.
And I think the Yankees feel that they could do better at shortstop. I don't know.
You're right.
Didi is kind of up and down.
Unless Torres takes over.
Right. Absolutely.
If Torres can take over, I would understand that decision.
Absolutely. So the Yankees probably looking at some things they can move around.
Yeah, but
Cole is also unrestricted.
So yeah, and hopefully we can try to get Cole. If not,
let's get both of them. Clap that up. Let's go Yankees. As a matter of fact, Malcolm, get on the phone with the Steinbergs and Brian Cashman, and let's get that done.
So do you agree that Strasburg should have been MVP? Because I do, but I thought
the hitter, what's his name?
Their main hitter,
Edmund or Redmond or whoever he was, he should have got it. But Strasburg went
8 innings
in both games.
So he killed it. And also too, this was the third highest TV World Series rating.
Yeah, let's clap that up some good. We got a lot of claps. This is the third highest viewed World Series. That means baseball did good when they go cash their receipts in.
Right.
At the end of the year, they say, "Hey, we did good."
And I think last year it took a hit because they went 5.
And considering basketball starts a couple of weeks earlier,
right?
Football is
we're still in the middle of
mid-season. So for baseball in their fall classic to do that, that was good.
You're listening to the sounds of the WATE, the world according to Eli.
All right, hopping into some NFL news. We got a lot of great games.
NFL news games.
We got a lot of great NFL games going on. Let's start off with the Sunday night game: Patriots versus Ravens.
Patriots versus Ravens. I told you the Ravens would get at the Patriots.
Yeah.
I feel, just my humble opinion, I'm called the hater around here, but
as you are.
I don't think the Patriots defense is as good as they're saying they are, and I think Father Time has sent Brady an email. They sent him a postcard, and they're about to just come knock on the door. You know what I mean? When they knock on the door, that's it. You know. So, and I thought that option play kind of confused the Patriots.
I will give 100% credit to the Ravens offense because the way Lamar was selling it was beautiful.
Yes.
I've never seen anything. I've seen
maybe Cam Newton used to do that.
Cam Newton used to sell it right, and maybe like Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
And I think one beautiful night, Baker did it well.
Yes.
But he was putting it all the way in, taking it out, and in one play, me and Freddie was watching the game in my room, and he handed it off to the running back, and he followed the running back, and I was looking. We're all looking at the running back, and Lamar had the ball.
Yeah. I've even seen him confuse the cameraman once or twice.
Right.
So yeah, absolutely. And I just thought their defense played well enough. You know what I'm saying, to get this timely stops.
Here's the thing, though. When the game first started and they was marching in the field on the first possession, we got a field goal kick.
Yes.
We got the stop.
Yes.
And then we got penalties. We started acting like the Browns from last week.
Yes. Uncharacteristic.
Uncharacteristic. Now I'm hoping Bill obviously fixed something because you had 2 weeks to
Right.
prepare.
Well, you're in the bye week now, right?
And also is Philadelphia. But anyway, I'm talking about the Patriots right now.
Right.
We both had 2 weeks. We got 2 weeks to prepare for the Philadelphia, and we was playing 9 straight games. So I'm assuming we was a little fried.
Yeah. And
But
I think. See, you wanted them to go in on the win.
Yeah, because obviously you love to go in the win.
But going on the loss stings more, and it stays with you for 2 weeks.
Right.
And that kind of reinvigorates and makes your team hungry.
Right. Now, obviously, our offensive line is still trash off of injuries and just because they can't protect Tom Brady well. This is the second time I've seen this happen since 2015 or 2016 when Peyton Manning went to the Super Bowl.
Yes.
And the Broncos got to him.
Yes,
a lot.
they was getting at him.
So I don't know how we're gonna fix that. Tom Brady, I'm liking. He's still. I'm not worried about Tom as much, only because his awareness for when he knows when the sacks are coming, like his spidey senses are still tingling. It's not off.
But when you get older,
when you're 42,
yeah, you get a little older, things start coming at you fast, boy.
we don't have.
Well, you start seeing things.
I like Sanu. But he just reminds me of another possessional wide receiver.
I think coming out of the bye week when he gets to learn the full playbook.
Okay.
You gotta understand, guys get traded and they be having them on a limited playbook.
Right. Okay.
So he'll run a limited route here.
But doesn't he just remind you of another bigger Edelman or just a Josh Gordon?
He's a good wide receiver. And I think the 2 weeks of him working with Brady is gonna put him in position to where he can be a little bit more effective,
like a little bit more. Okay, like a little bit more vertical.
Yes,
okay.
More vertical, and then now that Edelman's back, that'll open things up a little bit for you.
Okay, and then I'm not gonna worry about my defense. I still think we're on a historical pace.
Oh, that's gonna change over
to
the
do
next
our
5
thing.
weeks.
But you're always the one telling me don't read into the hype. Gotta. So what? Like, why are you reading into the hype?
I'm not reading into the hype. I'm watching the teams that they played, and I'm saying they haven't played any real dangerous teams yet.
Right.
They're supposed to be 8-0 or 9-0. You know what I mean? But now we're into the trenches of the schedule.
Right.
This is the make it or break it part of the schedule, and then I'll be able to assess and go, you know what? This is a championship caliber team.
Right. After the next 4 games.
Yes.
Side note: we have to go 4-1. I know I would say 3-2, but the low-key,
you seem to be a little bit afraid of Buffalo.
They're just winning too many doggone games. Like it would be different if they was 4-4. Then I'd be like, all right, cool. We can lose the next 3 games if we wanted to. I don't think we would.
Buffalo is still 2 years away from probably.
No. Here's the thing, though. We have the Philadelphia Cowboys, the Texans, then the Chiefs.
All tough games,
right? Then after that, we got the Bengals. I expect us to win that game.
Right.
And then that week 16, that's the game to circle.
Because that's who you play Buffalo.
That's when we play Buffalo. And then Buffalo's next 4 games is the Browns, the Broncos. It's not in order. But the Browns,
but remember,
Broncos,
like the Bills, they don't know how to deal with success.
All I know is that their next 4 games are winnable games for them.
Okay.
That's all I know.
We will see.
So, yeah. Second game going on was the Thursday night game, 49ers versus the Cardinals.
Now, that was a tougher game than I expected.
That was because when I was watching it, it was 21-7, and Kyle Murray was looking. First of all, he got demolished by their defense.
Yes,
I'm gonna give credit to their defense. Clap that up because they proved something to me Thursday night.
Yeah. And I didn't know the Cardinals had beaten them 5 straight times.
I didn't know that either.
So I was kind of like, whoa.
But I am not surprised by it because they're
it's divisional.
Yeah,
and it's divisional. It's these divisional matchups. It really don't matter what your record is.
Right.
I see you twice a year.
Absolutely.
So, it's tough. So when we tuned into the game, they had just ran an 88-yard bomb.
Right.
And made this a close game. And the 49ers had to get a series of first downs to get out of it. But they did.
Right. The way Jimmy Garoppolo handled the time management was beautiful.
And he threw for 4 touchdowns in that game.
Yeah, so he proved, okay, I don't need to always rely on my defense.
Absolutely. There's going to be times when I have to step up and make a play, and they are now 8-0, yes?
Yeah, yes.
And but they got some tough games coming.
Yeah, they have.
They got Seattle
They
coming.
have Seattle coming up next, and they have Arizona again, and then they can face Seattle at the last game of the season.
Right. And in between that, they got a few tough games. So I don't expect them to go nowhere near undefeated.
No.
But I do expect
unless their
them,
defense can stay in just like our defense can keep it up.
I do expect them to go 13-3, 14-2, and I do expect the championship game to have to go through Candlestick. I don't know if they're still Candlestick because they might have a new stadium.
Right.
But San Francisco,
Yeah.
and that could be tough.
I think it's called Levi Stadium.
Yeah. That could be tough. With the way they're playing and the confidence they're playing.
Right. And then also too, Seattle could still hunt.
Seattle is still the Trojan horse, so to
They're
speak.
only 2 games out.
And because, their experience.
Right.
And tell me who your quarterback is. And that's why I feel the NFC has a leg up this year. I think they got 4 legitimate quarterbacks.
What about last year? You didn't feel like...
I thought too many injuries. Like, I think Aaron Rodgers, if he gets to the playoffs, and he should, becomes dangerous. Drew Brees is back.
Definitely becomes dangerous.
He's dangerous.
Definitely becomes dangerous.
Russell Wilson, dangerous.
Right.
And Garoppolo, being that if he has home field advantage, he becomes dangerous. So it's 4 legitimate teams in the NFC, and I think it's really 2 teams in the AFC.
Maybe 3, because you got to put the Ravens in there.
That's what I'm putting, the Ravens in the E. And
I thought you were going to put Kansas City in there.
I need to see more when Mahomes get back.
Okay.
Yes, I need to see more.
Okay, I can agree with that. The third game, we had the Texans versus the Jaguars in London. The Texans won 26-3. Desean did his thing.
Yeah, Desean is continuing to almost go under the radar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And hold the floor while JJ was out for the season.
J.J. Watt is out for the season, but Desean is doing his job, and he's getting more and more comfortable at that quarterback position.
And their offensive line is still not great, but he's great at mobility.
Right. He's a mobile quarterback who can fire that ball down the field, and he may be an unsung hero.
Should probably be MVP, either him, Russell Wilson, or McCaffrey.
Yeah.
And I'll throw in, as a dark horse, Lamar.
Yes, as a dark horse.
So, do you think they can still win the division? Because technically, it's a tie between them and the Colts.
The Colts have an injury now to Brissett.
Right, Jacoby Brissett. So, I need to find out how long he's going to be out. That's another team nobody talks about. Right.
This was the last game in London of the season.
Okay.
So, it went pretty well. The Jaguars will be getting back
Nick Foles, week 11.
Soon. So, we're going to see how that works out. But I would say that the Houston, by default, should be able to win that division.
Okay, cool. We had the Chiefs versus the Vikings, 26-23. I was disappointed in the Vikings. Yeah. I told y'all had one job. All y'all had to do was just be the backup quarterback.
Yes.
And handle it. And I made the backup quarterback look like us.
And his name is
Matt Moore.
Matt Moore, he's a journeyman. Now, he's been around a long time.
He has.
And he's one of them guys you can plug and play, meaning he's seen so many different defenses. Now, he can't sustain that for 16 games.
Right. And flipping on the Vikings side, because I'll talk about the Vikings, Kirk Cousins is too wishy-washy.
Yes.
Because he had 3 great games. He was giving it to Thayton and Diggs a lot. And when he was playing the Eagles, he looked like a amazing quarterback. He was going in deep, and the Eagles defense was messing him up. And then you're trying to sustain it, and you just kind of crash and fall. Now, I'm not going to say he played terrible because it was only 26-23.
No, but he's another one of them quarterbacks who are plug and play.
How far do you think the Chiefs can go with Patrick Mahomes almost coming back this week?
I think it's going to take him a week or 2 to get back in the flow of things.
Right.
I think they held their own. I don't know what their record is right now.
Yeah.
What are they, 4-3, Malcolm? The Kansas City Chiefs?
Yeah.
Or whatever their record is.
Right.
I believe they're still close enough where they could make a move.
They are 6-3.
Okay, they're 6-3. So that means they held their own.
They went 2-1 in the last 3 weeks. So
so they held their own. If Mahomes comes back healthy, but their defense is the problem.
Right, especially against the run. So they're going to have to prepare themselves
to buckle down because
and you can't beat Baltimore or the Patriots like that.
Either that because the both of those teams are going to run it down your throat and force you to put 8 in the box, and then they're going to execute down the field.
And the only way you can and I agree with Colin about this when on the herd, he was saying y'all relying too much on Patrick Mahomes.
And
sort of like how the Packers did with Aaron Rodgers.
And what happens is the way you keep a dynamic quarterback useless is you run the ball, you eat the clock.
Yeah, same thing. This Sunday or last Sunday night, the time of possession that Baltimore had the ball was 37 minutes to hour 23. I've never seen anything like that.
So when that happens, that's the way you neutralize a great quarterback. So if they don't get it together on the run game, teams are going to run, eat the clock.
Have the ball for like almost 2 quarters, 3 quarters.
And then it's going to force Mahomes to be under pressure and make
magical plays
that he shouldn't have to play.
Yeah. So we had the Chargers versus the Packers. I was pretty excited about this game when I
was surprised that the Chargers, that might be my dark horse.
Yeah, but their record is not that
I know
good.
what their record says, but I know what they looked like.
Right.
The eye test, now that, what's the running back's name?
Melvin Gordon.
Gordon, is getting back into the flow.
Right.
It's giving Rivers an extra weapon.
And they got their defense.
Bosa.
Yeah.
And now his partner's back on the other end.
Right.
So they really got after Aaron Rodgers and made him look pedestrian.
Right. Now they're 4-5. Do they still have a shot?
Well, who else is in that division?
It's the Chiefs. It's the Chiefs are 6-3.
Well, they're not going to win the division.
They got the Raiders and they got the Broncos. Can they get a wild card spot?
We'll have to see. The only way they can get in is the wild card. But if they get in as a wild card, they're a wild card team you don't want to play.
Yeah.
Because they, remember, Rivers is probably the only quarterback out there of the last Mohegans of that class, but he's still a dynamic quarterback.
Absolutely. And then if you, like we said, if you have a great running game
and a defense,
and there was about 2 games that they shouldn't have lost.
Right. So they're a little bit better than their record says.
Yeah, their record is deceiving. But how about the Packers? Are you worried about them? Now they only have 2 losses, but the 2 losses that they have is the way they lost. So
I think I need to see one more loss from them. And then I'll determine. I need Aaron Rodgers, who's been playing fantastic.
Right.
I need his defense to become a little bit more assertive.
Locked down.
And then we'll see. Because the way they looked on Sunday was bad.
Right. And then against the Eagles got to him and put pressure on him.
Absolutely.
Russell Wilson had a great performance against the Buccaneers in overtime.
How many touchdowns did he have?
To have 5 touchdowns and threw for 378 yards.
Ooh, let's count that up. He threw for 5 ding-dings. That's a lot of touchdowns.
And it was a game-winning touchdown.
Okay, yeah, so
in overtime.
He's another dark horse. You got to be careful if he gets in or when he gets in. They'll get to the playoffs. These experienced quarterbacks are tough.
He reminds me of Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady in terms of give me wide receivers on, and I'll make them stars.
Exactly. Now, look, 3 of the 4 quarterbacks that I spoke about in the NFC are all champions.
Right. Except for
Aaron Rodgers won a Super Bowl.
Right.
Breeze won a Super Bowl.
Rivers.
And Wilson.
Wilson.
So these are quarterbacks who, if Brady faces, this is not going to be a cakewalk.
Absolutely not.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, good job from Russell Wilson.
Good job.
You're listening to the sounds of the WATE, the world according to Eli.
All right, so now we got some NFL injury news. Desean Jackson's out for the season. He had a core muscle. He has to have a core muscle surgery.
Okay, so he's out for the season.
Right.
They just got him back.
They did just get him back.
And that's tough because in his first game or two, he was
right. He was
lighting it up.
And Wentz was
him and Wentz had that connection.
The core muscle is your Malcolm. Is that your abs? Is that your stomach? Yeah. So
that's the muscle you don't want to tear.
Jacoby Brissett is questionable and optimistic about this Sunday.
Right. Somebody stepped on his ankle.
I guess somebody banged into his knee.
Yeah.
And he had to leave in the second quarter. But he's questionable for this Sunday. And OBJ and Landry. They got fined by the NFL.
No, they had to. They had to take off the cleats that they had on.
Right, because so you can have special cleats on during the warm-ups, but you can't have it on in the actual game.
Right, they have to be in unison with the uniforms.
Right.
So during the game warm-ups, you can wear anything you want to do, support different causes. Some people cancer.
Or just rock like colorful,
right,
cleats,
but some people have a purpose.
No. And
they get an opportunity to wear these cleats. Right. But then you have to go to the locker room or to the sideline and change. And I think they tried to sneak one over on the NFL. I didn't know the NFL had people just watching everything you do. What you wearing, who has on a watch, who has on the wrong sneakers. So OBJ. Brand, absolutely. Right. So they have to protect their brand. So and wasn't a player suspended?
Yeah.
Jermaine Whitehead.
Right.
From the Cleveland Browns. This is what happened. He missed a tackle or something.
He wasn't suspended.
He was released.
Right.
He missed a tackle.
Okay.
And you know how social media is.
Right.
They started getting at him.
There's cameras everywhere.
And he made some very disparaging remarks about killing some of the Twitter followers. And he was even threatening a reporter.
Right. So was it like a heckling type of thing?
They were heckling him and trolling him because he got ran over. But he let his emotions get the best of him when he's supposed to understand that these people would love to trade places with him in a heartbeat and be one of the players in the NFL team.
Get that much money.
And then he said some racist stuff to one of the reporters. And the PR people came in the locker room
immediately
and told him he has to go. Like, we don't even want the reporters coming in here and asking us questions about this. So, and this was his second team. He played for somebody last year, and he smacked somebody on the Patriots.
Wow.
And he was a safety, and he smacked somebody.
Wow. Okay.
And he got cut last year. I think he was on the Seahawks or somebody, one of those teams. So this is fourth team in 5 years. I think he maybe has some anger issues.
Yeah, needs to go to therapy
and get himself together.
Absolutely, because dude, you're professional. You don't let the hecklers get to you.
Absolutely, you can't.
This is why we kind of criticize a little bit of Westbrook.
Absolutely. You gotta stay focused.
Even though the Utah fans be crazy out there.
That's a little different.
Yeah, those Utah
fans are a little crazy.
You're listening to the sounds of the WATE, the world according to Eli.
All right, getting into some NBA news.
NBA action.
The Suns last night beat the Philadelphia 76ers.
Right, the Sixers were the only undefeated team left.
Yeah.
And then the Phoenix Suns being coached by the guy
Monty Williams.
Monty Williams. You got to give Monty Williams some credit.
Yeah.
He turned down the Laker job. And people said he took the Phoenix job. Phoenix is notoriously the worst management,
right? Because their owner is like the West Coast version of the Knicks owner.
Absolutely, Sterling, James Dolan.
James Dolan.
But he took this job with these young players, and Devin Booker is balling.
Side note: James Jones is on the coaching staff, I believe.
Oh, right. James Jones is on the coaching staff.
One of LeBron's right-hand men.
Right. Yeah. Who played with LeBron and all. And they're trying to change the culture out in Phoenix. Now, even the games that Phoenix have lost so far, they beat a couple of good teams.
Yeah, they absolutely.
They got, what's their record? 5-2. They're 5-2.
Yeah.
I don't think they can sustain that.
Right.
But and remember, their center.
Ayton.
Ayton is been suspended for 25 games.
Right.
When he gets back, they're gonna be even better.
Yeah.
So they're not gonna be a team that you could just walk in there and beat.
Right.
All right. So
and they're already in the tough divisions with the Clippers, Warriors, and Lakers.
Right. Now I will say this:
Kings.
Embiid didn't play.
Okay.
Last night because he's been suspended for 2 games.
Oh, for
this
the fight.
is his second game.
Right.
So he'll be back, and I'm pretty sure if he was there, Philly probably wins. However, there are no more undefeated teams.
Absolutely.
Didn't they beat the Clippers?
Who? They did. Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
Full strength?
Yes, full strength.
Yes, they did.
No. I think. No,
Kawhi missed the other game. He played that game.
Okay. Yeah.
He did play that game.
So they're gonna be a tough out.
Right.
See, because it only takes the right coach to come in and change
The attitude
and mindset.
Absolutely.
Right. So yeah,
Absolutely.
keep an eye on the Phoenix Suns.
Okay, R.I.P. to my Warriors. Lot of
R.I.P. to the Warriors, but they won.
Yeah.
Last night.
Okay, so here's the thing. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on. Curry broke his hand,
Yes.
I think, 2 days after we had did the last podcast.
Yes.
And Green messed up his finger.
Yeah, Green tore a ligament or some hamstring or something.
And then D'Angelo Russell was out for 2 games.
Yeah. So everybody's out.
Everybody's out. But we did win last night against the Portland Trailblazers. Portland. How did that?
I have no idea how. But now you're getting an opportunity
to see the young Bucks.
If you're a young player, you don't wish injury on nobody.
Right.
But now you know you in the starting lineup.
Yeah, and then we got a lot of our young dogs. I mean, our young talent really battled last night.
But y'all need to lose games.
But we low key need to. I want LaMelo.
Right. So you need to lose games.
Because I'm telling you right now, LaMelo Ball is going to be the number 1 pick.
You think LaMelo Ball?
No question. He's going to be the number 1 pick. No question.
Okay, we gonna see. But I think y'all need to stick to the program and continue to lose games.
Yeah. Speaking on the Warriors, real quick, Kevin Durant was on the First Take show Friday or Thursday, I believe.
I'm surprised I thought him and Stephen A had beef, but I guess
they Stephen A was on his boardroom earlier that week.
So they switch.
Yeah.
They switching up. Yeah.
So he was on, and then Stephen A asked him what the altercation between you and Draymond, part of the reason why you left. He said absolutely.
Yes, I think we knew that, but now we're understanding that Kevin never felt at home, which I didn't think he would feel at home.
Right. But and I'm not surprised by his comments on that. And then on the flip side, earlier or 2 weeks before that, Draymond was on the Woj podcast.
Okay.
And he said, "Look, I understand that you didn't feel a part of this squad, but we did our best to make you feel a part of the squad.
What more can we do? You came in and you won a championship."
And Draymond said, "Look, at the third year, I pretty much knew that you was leaving, and it now raging out of frustration. Because me, Clay, Sean, and Iguodala are doing our darnest to keep you here. You're not.
We've accompanied you the best we can,
and you're not reciprocating the same energy.
So we knew you was gone.
So I lashed out, and you was clapping your hands at me, and
and it led to something else. And here's the thing: he never belonged there.
Right.
He came there to win his chips.
Right.
He did
and we benefited off of that.
And you benefited off of that because y'all needed to beat LeBron.
Right.
It was a win-win. Everybody won, and now it's time for him to move on. I'm not surprised.
Yeah. But you don't think the Brooklyn is a good fit for him? You've been watching him on the sidelines, and
Brooklyn is a hard-nosed city, man.
Yeah.
Brooklyn is a city, a world onto its own. Mm-hmm. Right? You don't come from New York. You say I come from Brooklyn.
The way the jerseys look, the way this court look,
everything about Brooklyn.
It looks like a Brooklyn jailhouse.
And for him to be as sensitive as he is,
right.
I don't know if he's gonna make it there. He's a loner. He should have went to Washington. That's where he's from.
Right.
He could have hooked up with
Beal.
Beal.
Him and John Wall
and Beal,
that might have worked. Now, you feel like Kyrie Irving, on the other hand, is a perfect
Kyrie's
fit.
from Jersey, but he spent a lot of time in New York.
Right.
Rod Strickland is from New York.
Right. His godfather.
His godfather. His roots are here in New York. He's gonna make it.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll see what Kevin Durant looks like when he suits up.
Absolutely. Isiah Thomas started for the Washington Wizards.
Let's clap. That's a big clap up. My man Meek made it all the way back.
Welcome back, Meek. Welcome back, IT.
He earned it.
He definitely did.
He was injured. We started writing him off. He lost a lot of money.
Right.
He lost a boatload of money.
Once again, I didn't like the way it was handled because, dude, he busted his butt off.
He did.
In that series, the emotional roller coaster that he was going on.
True.
And we both said, he probably should just sit out and just handle that situation in the offseason, come back refresh. Because we knew he wasn't really going to stay in Boston long term.
Right.
Because you're a defensive liability.
Right.
But for him to still suit up and do it, then,
Then he went to Cleveland, which he never got healthy. That was a bad situation.
That was a bad situation because I didn't like his attitude going into that situation.
Right. He made it seem
him and Crowder.
Right. They didn't want to be there. So then he got shipped a number of places.
Yeah.
And now it seems like he has found a home.
Right.
In Washington, and now he's got the starting position So this, because John Wall is hurt,
John Wall is definitely hurt.
so he's going to take advantage of that. And if he do well, see, that might not be his permanent home.
That might open up another team like the like the Kings or.
So if he can put up 30 and only give up 30, then that's a win-win.
Absolutely.
Because he's going to give up 30. I think I can score 20 on him right now.
Right, absolutely.
Just throw me the ball on the post. I think I can take back Shorty down.
Yeah, man.
Just my humble opinion. Yeah.
So the Lakers are rolling that the number 1 seed in the Western
Let's
Conference.
clap that up. They lost the first game. Everybody got in a panic.
Nah, but that was to the Clippers.
And I said, I wouldn't care who it was. It's going to take them, to me, 10 to 15 games to figure out the rotation. Kuzma's back now.
Right.
We're still waiting for Rondo to get back.
Absolutely.
But the star for me is Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard has got 2 or 3 double-doubles coming off the bench.
Right, and low-key, Danny Green. Danny Green has been an
but
amazing...
Dwight Howard, because he's on a non-guaranteed contract.
Right.
And we didn't know which Dwight Howard we were going to get.
And also, too, don't forget, they only signed him because Boogie got hurt.
That's what I'm pointing.
Right.
So we signed him at the last minute. And I know what I'm going to get from Danny Green. Danny Green is going to play good defense. He's going to hit open shots. I didn't know which Dwight would show up. If this Dwight right here stays this consistent, as long as they are, the Lakers are going to be a problem.
Absolutely.
They're going to be a problem. LeBron is leading the league in assists.
Yeah,
right
he's
now.
playing. He's back on his defense because he knows he can't lag off.
Right. So he can't lag
Western
off
Conference.
now. And he has help behind him.
Dude, nobody want to face Anthony Davis.
No. You don't want to face Davis.
Don't.
You don't want to face McGee or Dwight Howard.
Right.
And now Kuzma's going to be back there.
Oh, just side note, they did just increase his minutes.
Oh.
Kuzma.
Okay, all right. So they're bringing him in slowly, and it's still going to boil down to the Clippers and the Lakers when Paul George gets back. So it's going to be interesting to look at.
Speaking still on the Lakers, the Lakers played the Mavericks, I believe, last week. And you're looking at the...
No. Lakers played the Mavericks.
And it was Luka Doncic
Oh, absolutely.
versus LeBron. And they just became the youngest to oldest
to have triple-doubles.
In
terms of age. That was beautiful. Clap that up. And that was a monumental game.
Luka gave it to LeBron, and LeBron gave it right back to him.
LeBron was giving it right back to him. This kid, Luka, because he's been playing professional ball for so long.
Right, in Europe, yeah.
In Europe, his cadence is built for the pick and roll. He makes great decisions with the basketball.
Which is why Mark Cuban and the San Antonio Spurs always get their players from there.
Absolutely. They have a great scouting, rapport with overseas players. And Porzingis is not exactly back yet, but
that's what I was going to say. He hasn't got his feet under him yet.
Give him another 10 games.
Right.
And he's going to, because he crossed Anthony Davis at the 3-point line and hit a bang. So the potential is there. And I think the Dallas Mavericks are one more player away, a lower tier, second tier player,
like a Rodney Hood or something like that,
from threatening in the West in terms of you don't want to play them.
Gotcha, yeah,
absolutely.
But that was an amazing game, and Luka is here to stay.
Yes, he is the truth.
Miami is rolling right now. The Miami Heat.
Miami Heat surprisingly. Even though Jimmy Butler missed the first 2 games.
Yeah, but that was because, like we said, he had.
I understood he had a baby on the way.
Fatherhood to
this rookie they have. What's this rookie they have there?
Tyler Hood or Tyler Hero?
Yeah, Hero or whoever he is. Boy, this guy is balling. You know they got a great coaching staff.
Yeah, and they scorched. They scorched Houston.
Oh, they put it on Houston bad
immediately.
And Jimmy Butler adding leadership to that team. Yeah. And I do think they're gonna make a move for Chris Paul.
Yeah, I definitely do too.
I do think the Chris Paul move.
And I heard side note on Chris Paul. Dallas is also interested.
Okay, that would also
be him and Luka and Porzingis.
I'm not sure him and Luka because they both need the ball.
No, his thing. But if Luka can be unselfish, I'm not gonna say unlike Chris Paul, but if Luka can handle that 3 position, remember he's 6'7".
Right. If he can come off and be a point forward,
there you go,
like LeBron.
Right.
Then that could work. That could work. Yeah. That definitely could work.
So I like the leadership of Jimmy Butler. He also speaks about his last team, Philly. He just said, "Look, it didn't work. We tried our best to make it work because we were a dangerous team."
Yes.
When you looked at us on paper, but I think he said the injuries with Embiid messed us up, and our chemistry, all three just wasn't clicking.
It just wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't there.
Speaking of Houston, they are in trouble.
Houston is in trouble.
Now they looked back to Houston basketball last night because they didn't have Russell Westbrook.
Okay, he took a day off.
Yeah, he was resting.
Okay, a day off for rest. They lost, yes?
No, they won.
Oh, they won. Okay.
That's why I said they look back to their usual.
Yeah, they're going to be in trouble because they've been giving up a lot of points.
And it's not their offense, it's their defense. They don't play.
Yeah, you can't outscore teams in the NBA. In the regular season, you might be able to.
Right, but when we see you 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to do that.
And two, once again, I think finally the league has caught up to James Harden's play style. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's not going to be still effective. But seeing this for the 4th or 5th year in a row,
we know how to defend it.
We know how to defend that. And you're still looking for the referee whistle.
To bail you out.
I
think his shot just ain't falling. And when it starts falling.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm just saying, I'm talking about playoff wise, it's not going to do. I've seen it.
Well, we already said he hasn't proven anything yet until he proves it in the playoffs.
Who has the better motor, him or Westbrook?
Westbrook's motor is unmatched. Because Westbrook's motor, to me, is end-to-end.
Right.
He plays better defense.
Do you feel like... Okay, but what about during the playoffs? Because we always criticize James Harden for not having enough fuel when we get to the playoffs.
Nah, I just think that you facing the same team for 2 weeks and them taking the ball out of your hands a little bit more... I still say Westbrook has the better motor, but Harden has the better game.
Right.
I'm not going to deny that. Harden's shaking boogie and free throw, getting to the free throw line.
And that freaking trap. And they low-key...
And that left hand thing.
Low-key, they've been calling his travel a little bit more.
Yeah. So the league is caught up a little bit. But he's going to make adjustments because he's that good of a player. But I still don't see them being a threat. But let's see how if they make it to the playoffs, they're still going to be a tough out.
But it depends on what... Yeah.
Tyson Chandler's in the middle trying to anchor some of the defense for them. We'll see where that goes.
All right. Well, Brooklyn is struggling.
Brooklyn is struggling, but I expect them to struggle a little bit.
Yeah, because you don't have a 7-foot sniper coming on the court.
Right. You think because you just changed D'Angelo and Kyrie Irving, the league has gotten better around you.
Right.
Boston... Kemba Walker is starting to ball out.
Absolutely, and they have similar cats, but it's,
right.
I trust
Philly just got better,
and I think Boston just has a little bit of a better system than Brooklyn.
Yes, right. And Philly got better with Al Horford,
right,
and Richardson in
and
there.
That's a mean front court.
That's a mean front court. Milwaukee added some shooting and Kyle Korver and a few other pieces, and they're gonna be tough. So I think Brooklyn is gonna have to maintain.
Right.
They might make the playoffs. They might not. I'm concerned about Kyrie Irving's mental state.
Okay.
If they lose, if he's looking at Brooklyn, he's looking up in the standings at Boston, where he just came from.
Right.
And let's say Boston is winning, and he's in Brooklyn,
and they say
Brooklyn was winning before he got there, and now they're losing, and everybody looking at you.
Then you're the problem.
They're not necessarily the problem, but the weight is going to fall on him.
No, you definitely are the problem. Because if I'm looking at my previous team...
His numbers have been good, though.
Okay, I'm not talking about that.
His assists have been up.
But you just mentioned his mental state, right?
Yeah.
So, I'm saying, like you just said, if I'm looking at Boston, the team I just came from, and I'm looking at when I was on that team, and Brooklyn, dude, I'm the problem.
Yeah.
I don't care how you look at it.
If you want to make it very...
I'm the problem.
Very simple, Eli. That's very simple minded way to look at it, but okay, I have to agree.
But I am impressed with his assist. He's been keeping that afloat.
He's been passing that ball more so than I thought he would.
Right.
And now his team got to make shots.
Absolutely. So last week I just what was that?
No problem.
Oh, sorry. Last week I mentioned Trae Young because he was doing amazing in his first week in the NBA.
Yes.
And I said, look, as long as he doesn't get hurt and have an ankle injury like Steph, he'll be fine. As soon as we got up the air, news report, he tweaked his ankle, and it was almost pretty season-ending injury. Like, anyway, he's back tonight because he was only off for 2 weeks.
So let's clap that up. So the man
dodged a bullet,
dodged a huge bullet,
and he is back. He's playing against the Spurs tonight. We'll see how he does. I'll give him a good 3 to 4 games to get back into the swing of things.
And he should be good after that.
Yeah, and do they make the playoffs?
Atlanta, they're young.
They have a lot of talent. That's not the problem, really.
Talent is not, but this guy on their team just got suspended.
Oh, right. Collins.
Collins is his last name for PED.
It's not Jamie Collins. But anyway.
Yeah, something like James Collins or he
Yeah, he got suspended for 25 games for steroids.
Yeah, it was breaking news today. John Collins.
Who's the lethal piece of their puzzle. So he was using growth hormones. Right.
Or fertilizer or something really weird.
Yeah, which is unheard. I'm not gonna say it's unheard of, but I'm pretty sure you've seen it in your era when he was playing. But I'm like, why in basketball though?
Maybe dudes want to jump higher. Injuries.
Yeah, true.
Trying to recover from an injury faster. So it could be a number of issues why that happens. But you get caught with your hand in the cookie jar.
Yeah.
And you got to serve 25 games.
Absolutely.
And that's a lot of games in the NBA. That's almost like 33% of the season.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you have to sit there and watch your team. I'm not sure it's worth it. Well, he should appeal. Maybe they'll cut it down to 15 games.
Which won't be as bad.
But it is what it is.
You're listening to the sounds of the WATE, the world according to Eli.
All right, going into some culture news.
Culture.
So there's a Joker update. I'm giving y'all a Joker update from last week. Joker just made $900 million worldwide.
Let's clap
in
that
a
up.
month.
That's a lot of bread.
In a month.
It's a lot of bread, and then turn certain parts of the Bronx into
into like a mini little Broadway.
Yeah, a little tourist attraction over there.
Absolutely. They will get to $1 billion.
They will get to $1 billion, and this it's a very good movie. I believe is
it Oscar worthy?
I believe it is Oscar worthy.
Okay.
I believe it's an Oscar worthy performance. Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin, yep. Did an amazing job. So did Todd Phillips coming off of a comedy film.
Yes,
as well.
yes. For him directing this off a comedy, I was very impressed. And this week, no other movies was really doing good. I mean,
we have the Terminator.
That flopped.
They only had $100 million. But isn't this like the
No, they lost $100 million.
Oh, they lost $100 million.
They were expecting to make at least 100.
Okay.
Or 100 and change in it.
But isn't this to be expected when you make like your 7th or 6th Terminator?
And no, it's when you have old actors, no disrespect, from the original movies, and Schwarzenegger looked like he needed to be in the wheelchair.
Right.
And then the lady, I forget her name, Connor James,
Right.
She's old, even though she worked out, and it just doesn't resonate with this generation.
Right, absolutely.
That's the point I'm trying to make. So the movie didn't do well.
Because I think the same thing is gonna possibly happen with either Mission Impossible and possibly.
But Mission Impossible to me has a built-in following, and they put out a movie every 2 years.
Gotcha.
So they
stay relevant.
They stay a little bit more relevant.
What about the Fast and Furious?
I think the Fast and Furious is on the last leg.
Okay.
Because they did the Shaw and Hobbs piece.
Right.
I didn't even see that. I don't want to see that.
Okay.
It's available now on streaming services. They may be able to get one more
good one out there. Because I'm thinking too, how much high tech can you really keep doing?
Yeah, how many cars can fly through the air, off of helicopters, off of skyscrapers into other skyscrapers?
Cardi B is in it too.
Oh, Cardi B is in this one. Okay.
John Cena's also in it as well.
Yeah, they're trying their best to throw that together.
Harriet Tubman flopped.
Harriet Tubman flopped because the movie is not a biography. It's a movie where they added some fictional characters to it, and it pissed a lot of people off. And they're like, "No, I'm not going to see that because that didn't happen." And so, you got to be careful with certain characters,
right? Absolutely, and certain biopics.
Absolutely, certain biopics you can't mess with.
And last but not least, John Whitaker passed away.
John Witherspoon.
I'm sorry.
From
John
Friday. From Boondocks.
Yep. Bang Bang Bang.
From, Bang Bang Bang. From
Wayne Bros. The Wayne Bros.
Give us a ride.
No, the Wayne Bros. I said the Wayne Bros.
But what was the name of the show?
It was called the Wayne Bros.
Oh, the Wayne Brothers. Okay. We're brothers.
Yeah.
We're happy and we're singing and we're colored.
Yeah, it was called. It was called.
Okay, yeah. He played Pops on that show, and a bunch of other things. So we want to send our condolences.
To the family and friends.
Out to his family and friends. His comedy kept us laughing.
Absolutely.
And kept us happy.
Where do you rank him in terms of the top? I guess.
Well,
TV
he was
five?
a TV dad. I'm gonna put him up there with the top funny TV dads.
Okay.
You know, it's a number of different
Like
kind of
top
TV
10?
dads. Of course,
Top 10?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You're listening to the sounds of the WATE, the world according to Eli.
All right, it's time to get into our predictions. Last week I beat Eli out 10-7. Not too bad.
Yeah.
I didn't slaughter him too much.
It's late. We just getting started.
Yeah, we just getting cooking here. So now we have week 10's predictions.
Let's shoot.
Thursday's game is the Chargers versus the Raiders. This is the divisional game.
Mm-hmm.
Chargers Raiders.
Chargers need to win this. I'm taking the Chargers.
You taking the Chargers in this one? I too will take the Chargers because I think they need to catch lightning in a bottle,
Right.
and see if they can make a playoff run. Ravens versus the Bengals. I think we will both take the Ravens. The Bengals might go winless. The Bills versus the Browns.
Taking the Bills.
I'm going to take the Browns in this one. I think the Browns have to stop the bleeding. And if they don't stop it against the Bills, coming across country to Cleveland, it ain't never going to get done.
Bills defense is doing their thing.
Lions at the Bears. Lions.
Take your pick.
Bears. Oh, my.
Take your pick.
I will take the Lions in this one.
I'm going to take the Lions, too.
Okay.
I don't like how... I know the Bears are kicking themselves in the face after taking Mike Trubisky over Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson.
Oh, definitely. Giants at the Jets. Who cares?
Who you got?
The Jets are the home team. I'm going to take the Jets.
They actually both need to win. I'll take the Giants.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. The Chiefs are at the Titans.
Give me the Chiefs. I think Patrick Mahomes comes back strong.
Yeah, I too will
Bounce
take
back.
the Chiefs in that one. The Cardinals at the Bucks. Cardinals. Buccaneers. Buccaneers been playing all right. I'm going to take the Bucks.
I'm going to take the Cardinals. I think Cardinals can handle that one.
You think the Cardinals can handle that? Falcons at the Saints. I think we'll both take the Saints. What happened to the Falcons, man? My Lord.
They couldn't recuperate off of the 51 loss.
Off the Super Bowl loss, yeah.
Same thing with the Rams.
Yeah, really just, they were very destroyed.
Same thing with the Rams.
Dolphins at the Colts.
Colts.
I think we'll both take the Colts.
Yeah, taking the Colts.
Colts at home.
I don't care if Jacoby is playing or not. They still gonna win.
Rams, Steelers, Rams in Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh won, I believe 4 or 3 straight games.
I'm taking Pittsburgh.
Yeah, same here.
All right, Panthers at the Packers. I'm gonna take the Packers.
Give me the Panthers.
In Lambeau Field.
I think McCarthy can handle.
Okay. And the Vikings will be playing the Cowboys.
Give me Cowboys.
And the Monday night game has the Seahawks versus the 49ers at Levi's Stadium.
Give me the Seahawks. Number 12.
Eli's going out on the limb.
Number
I
12.
will take the 49ers in that game, and that's our week 10 predictions. You can play along with us online. So, Eli, where can we be reached?
We can be reached on SoundCloud, iTunes, Twitter, IG, Snapchat, YouTube, and Facebook, all at the WATE Podcast. Follow me on all social media platforms. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the little bell notification on all my videos coming up, man.
That's what we talking about. And we are out of here.
See you guys next Tuesday.
Peace.
You are now tuned in to the #1 podcast in the world, The WATE, the world according to Eli. Music, sports, video games, and culture. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the host of our show, Mr. Eli.